All right, today I have another mini coaching session for you where I sat down with a small business owner to talk about all the ways we can improve their website. In today's episode, we talk about how to fix a vague headline, how to handle it if you offer multiple services, and how to streamline the consultation process, and lots more, so stick around. If you want to transform your website into a customer or lead generation machine, I'll show you all my best tips, tactics, and secrets to get there fast. Let's dive in. All right, today we have Brandon from Crystal Productions. How's it going, Brandon?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Oh, doing great. Thanks for coming on with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, cool. So before we get started and we dive in here, just why don't you tell me and tell everybody what exactly it is you do and who you help?
So we are a DJ company out of the Kansas City area. We help all the brides and a bunch of different companies with corporate events and birthday parties throughout Kansas City and Kansas.
Okay, cool. So it says DJ service and photo booth. So how does that break down? Is it more DJ and the photo booth is kind of an add-on, or?
Yep. Yeah, we are solely majority of a DJ company, and we own our own photo booth, so we use that as an add-on for our brides and grooms and stuff.
Okay. Cool. So right off the bat, we can just dive into the website here at this point. Mm-hmm. So when I'm seeing this headline that says Kansas City's preferred DJ service and photo booth, right away I'm thinking, you kind of need to pick a lane a little bit. You can offer multiple things, but if one thing is much more of your business, that should be made more of the actual deal. And then photo booth can be, you already have kind of a navigation tab for it up here. You have a page for that as well. So I might recommend that you not lump those things together right in your homepage headline, right?
Okay, yeah.
When you're really trying to tell people very clearly what it is you do. I was a little confused at first because these two things, while they go together in a way, because it's both, for a wedding or an event, I wouldn't think, I've never gotten married, but I wouldn't think that I would go to the same vendor for both things, or that they would come as a package deal. So I think you might be better off just selling the DJ service as its own thing and then saying afterwards, hey, we've also got photo booths if you want that as an add-on, right?
Okay. So instead of advertising it straight away at the home screen, keep it as an add-on?
Exactly.
Thing? Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise I just think it's a little confusing. And then, so right on the homepage here, when I first got there, I got this little message pop up, which is great. It's nice to welcome people to the site, but I definitely think things like this can make people kind of scramble for the back button when they start seeing too many pop-ups. So what I recommend for these kind of live chat features is actually to put it on a timer, to where people aren't seeing it until maybe a minute or 2 minutes in, or it can be triggered when you're going back up toward the back button as an exit intent pop up.
Okay.
Have you seen those?
I have not seen those.
Okay.
No.
So let's start talking about this right here. So this keeps coming up over and over again with these consult calls that I'm doing this series when it comes to the hero section right here, which is, it really has to communicate what you do, why that matters to your clients, and what they need to do next to get the ball rolling. Right here, all we're really getting is the what. You are a DJ service and photo booth. I don't really get a sense of how that helps me if I'm getting married, how you help solve a problem. So you definitely want to think about that a little bit. So you can say, first of all, let's get photo booth out of there. We've already talked about that. The other thing is, and I see this a lot, people will say Kansas City, the preferred or your choice for, let's be honest, like that doesn't really say much, right? That's just kind of a filler, right? So what you want to do instead is really think about why you, what do you bring to the table, right? So if you're selling this to someone, what do you tell them? How do you sell the DJ service to your clients?
Gotcha. Yeah. Usually showing rewards and stuff you've gotten usually helps. I don't know how you would put that into like a main title though.
No, and that comes later, but basically you want to communicate a benefit, how the night is going to go and how you're going to help them get there. Like I recently did a a wedding band's website here in Chicago, and we really thought a lot about the headline, and it was the Chicago wedding band that knows you're the star. Because every other wedding band was talking about how they're the star of the night, basically in essence. And this one, we're saying, no, we're going to make you the star. We're going to make your night go really well. The other thing too here, so this photo, again, I'm going to bring back that other client that I was talking about, the Chicago wedding band client. We did a lot of work to find the right photo that sold the right kind of enthusiasm and joy factor that we needed to sell that moment. And this one, I feel like she's kind of smirking. Like no one really looks like they're having the time of their life in that photo. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. We used to have a video on there.
That'd be cool
that
too.
we took of everybody dancing and having a great time, but that video on mobile sometimes didn't work. So
yeah, that can happen. Well, what you can do is have it set to where on desktop it shows the video, and then on mobile it changes to an image. And you also have to ask yourself how many people are searching for something like this on their phone. It depends, and maybe your analytics will tell you a lot of people are. I find that when people are researching like someone's planning out their wedding, they're probably not doing a whole lot of it on their phone. They're sitting down to do it. Your analytics will tell you what to focus on, homepage or mobile. So, but yeah, even if it's just an image, choose one where everyone's really having a good time. Because that's what you're selling, right? You're selling you're not just selling a DJ service, you're selling an experience. And let's go down here. So let's close out of that. So what is your main call to action? What do you want people to do when they get to your site?
We really want them to, communicate with us. So our goal is for them to send us a message. I want to say that's probably the first step into communicating and trying to get them booked.
And let's get a little more specific on that. So you want them to send in kind of a contact form, and then you'll get back in touch with them.
That way it works too, yeah. Almost like on Wedding Wire where they send us a request.
Okay. Is that what this check availability thing is?
Kind of, yeah. So that one right there is when they click on that, they put in their, their wedding date and stuff like that. And then when it checks availability, we get an email saying that, so-and-so has checked for availability. And then that should pop up another form for them to fill out. And that goes into my personal email, some of their information.
Okay, so I do that. It says we're available. And then, okay, so first they check to see the availability, which makes sense in your case. And then it prompts them to book now. The problem is, what if someone doesn't... Well, do you find that when people are coming to you, they already have their date in all cases?
Yes.
Okay, so they always already know their date. So that's probably actually a really good first step, the checking availability. And then, okay, so book now. What I would do though, here's the thing. This is a barrier to entry right away I'm seeing. So it says we're available. Now you're making them click another button to book. That whatever I click here, whatever comes up here should have come up right away. Right?
It came up twice, yeah.
Yeah, that should have come up. Instead of saying book now, it should have been, this is the second step. You pick a tier basically, and then event date, I would have that auto fill in from, they've already put in the date. So whatever you can do on the back end to get rid of that extra barricade. And then I would get rid of all of this stuff because people may not know all this stuff yet and it's overwhelming. So what I would do at this point is once they've found that their date is available, I think it looks to me like you're basically wanting them to book it right now. Do you find that people are willing to do that without talking to you first?
A lot of them do talk to us. Majority do talk to us first before filling out that form.
Yeah.
Usually this is like one of the last things I like to send to them if they are in contact with me.
Okay.
But there is before you click that book now form, there is like a request information page so that they can go to where they can talk first before filling out the form.
Okay.
But so I do think this could be overwhelming.
Yeah. So what's generally the first step? What do they do? Like, let's go back to the homepage. How do they get in touch with you at first?
Well, when they get on their website, we can automatically see that somebody's on our website. And usually, if they've got questions on our website, they, messages on that button there. But if not, then they go ahead and go to the contact us.
And then they just will email you.
Yep. Some people email us directly, and then some people fill out this form.
Okay.
Which works just like Wedding Wire or the Knot, and it sends us a message in our email box.
Sure. It's a balancing act, right? Between having a form, maybe all this information is necessary for you to weed people out. This happens like if you get an overwhelming number of requests and you need to kind of pare it down. That's when you'd ask all these questions to really go for the cream of the crop and the best clients for you. But if you're not always booked all the time, all this information is way too much for a first contact. Feel free to use your own little qualifying questions, whatever those are for you. I don't think you need all of these at all. What I do is first name, email address, or in your case, phone number, if that's the follow-up. And then maybe just one little thing saying, what is your dream wedding like? Or I don't know, something like that. But generally, the less you ask for, the better. And the more you're going to get a response. And have you given any thought to, rather than just a form like this, more of an online scheduler tool like Calendly?
What would you do with that? Like for them?
Well, like when you set this up with me, it was basically you picked out a time that worked for you, and you knew I was going to give you a call at that time.
Right.
I always recommend that because I think that scheduled interactions work better than, let's say someone gives you all their information here and then you call them, but they're dropping their kids off at school or they're cooking dinner. Yeah. It's not a good time to talk.
We've had, that quite a bit. People send us a message
Yeah.
at like 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and we're hesitant. Do we give you a call now or are you getting ready for bed? What? Are you eating dinner? So...
Yeah, so that takes the guesswork out of it. So it's Calendly. It's a free thing to use. There are paid plans, of course, but you can get started on it for free. It goes with your online calendar, so it knows if you're already busy, so it won't let people schedule things during those times. They can only schedule when you're free, and then they know when to expect your call. Then at that point, it's your salesmanship. It's your show to run as a salesperson offline at that point. The website is best used just to get people on the phone or to get people into that sales funnel.
Well, how does the appearance look to you? To me, I want to make it look appealing. We've gone through the forms and what they fill out and information that we're requesting. How that's not so user friendly appealing. The look, like I don't want customers to come and be turned away by just looking, that we're not looking too professional. We've had ideas of what we could add to the website, but we don't want to clutter it. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. Are you talking about just in general, or are you talking about the forms?
Yeah, well, in general.
Appearance-wise. Okay. Yeah. Let's look at the homepage. Again, I think the image, if you choose like a really colorful, bright, happy image here, that's going to go a long way. Okay. And then you need a nice, colorful call to action button, which is schedule a consultation, and that goes to that online schedule tool. And then you also want that up in the navigation, by the way, styled as a button right here on the right. Okay. So then we get here. I wanted to talk about this as well. So I think, a lot of these pictures here are this one's a good one. Some of them look a little snapshotty. I think the good news about being in the wedding business is they're professional photographers there. So you need to choose the best looking photos you possibly can. Like I don't know if you have any contacts with wedding photographers and stuff. Yeah. So choose really good ones. This one's a nice one right here. I like that. But some of them just look a little drab. So only choose the best ones. Okay. And this text right here on the right, it doesn't really say much. So when people come to your website, all they care about is how you can help them. And I don't mean this to sound harsh, but they probably don't care how you started as a dream between a father and two sons. I mean, it's a nice thought and it's great for you guys. All they care about is their special day, right? So Make this all very customer focused. And if you want to put this stuff on your about page, you can. Even on your about page, I generally advocate for making that not even so much about you there. It's more about you in the context of how we help our customers. So, but I mean, the look is fine. The look is good. Nothing here is going to turn anybody off from a aesthetic standpoint. It looks great. I would maybe rethink the blue. I think that doesn't really sell a premium. It feels a little IT provider blue as opposed to like a glamorous. This blue is probably not in their wedding palette. Does that make sense? So, think purples, think rich colors like that would probably do a little bit better for you in terms of just overall aesthetic. This is great. Having a lineup of these awards is awesome. It's also great to have testimonials. What I would definitely recommend, take them a step further by including a photo with each one of them. So get a really nice looking wedding photo from each of these couples and put that alongside next to it. So it just really brings it to life and people can picture them as that couple who had such a great time.
Okay, so would that still work with that wedding wire code right there?
Probably not. But you can always put this on a testimonials page, which you should have its own page as well. Put this there, and you can still have this, but you can add to it featured testimonials, which you just control on your own website, right? So good to have these too, though, because it lends some credibility to it because it's coming from a third-party site.
Right.
So still good to have that. And then meet the team. These pictures should probably not be on the homepage because, again, the whole homepage should be all about the customer and why we will make your night more special. These can go on the about page if you must. I don't even necessarily recommend them there. I recommend maybe one group shot just to kind of show you guys looking friendly and trustworthy and dependable and all that kind of stuff. But the whole idea, I try to get people to shy away from the whole idea of like the staff bio photos, because once they're looking at those pictures and they're reading about your bios, now they're no longer on a path to purchase. They're getting lost in that. And now they're like, okay, I'm reading this bio. Now what? Now what do I do?
It doesn't hurt to have a lot of tabs, you think, since...
Yeah, it does. You don't want too many. So if you're going to have an about section like that, you would put that on the footer probably. What goes up here should be nothing but the most important stuff. And client login even probably shouldn't be. What is the client login for?
So when they book with us, they have a online planning portal, planning suite pretty much. So that helps them plan their wedding with us. We help them build their timeline, plan their entire wedding throughout.
Okay. What I would maybe do for that is that whatever page this goes to, maybe that's just a private link that you email them once they're onboarded. And then this doesn't need to be here because the way I look at your homepage, it's not about your current customers. It's about getting new customers. So it's a marketing tool. So it has to be either it's for people to sign in for that or it's to get people in your funnel. And I think it's that. So have that be a private link. And you can also link to it in your footer. But right up here in this place of honor in the top right should be that CTA button, scheduling a consultation.
Right.
Yeah, other than that, I think you're on the right path. There's not a whole lot to do. It's just kind of messaging stuff and choosing the right photos and then adding that online scheduler. Because right now, there's just too many steps that people need to go through. And there's too much information you're asking for before it's necessary.
Trying to simplify it is... I don't want to ask too little, and then when they are booked, happen to overload.
Well, and that's why pricing is so important, because that's definitely, and you have that page, which is good. So what you want this to be for is like, you want people to just qualify themselves in or out based on pricing, so that by the time you're on a consult call with them, they should already be aware of the price. Obviously there's other things that can go wrong. It can go your way or not, based on other factors as well, but pricing is probably one of the big ones. So make it as easy as possible for them to make that call with you, and then from there, you just sell them on the phone with your own charm, right?
Right. Yeah.
Cool deal. Well, I think that's about all we've got time for today, but it was great talking with you, Brandon. All right, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and click on the circle icon right down here to subscribe. And if you're interested in getting my eyeballs on your website, I do offer a limited number of private Kickstart calls where we can go over your site, talk about any problems you're having, and you can get that by clicking right up here. All right, guys, I'm Wes McDowell for The Deep End, and I'll see you in our next video.